All
Mhm.
right. Hello, everyone. If you are watching with us live on Facebook, happy Thursday. My name is Justin Spanauer Roth. You've seen my face. I talk about all the Elm Street stuff, but I am here today with a probably unfamiliar face to some of you, which is always very exciting for me and for Elm Street. So I'm going to give a great big welcome to Sydney Warren, who is in our upcoming production of She Kills Monsters. So, yay! Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So, um, how this is going to work is, we're just going to kind of chat a little bit about Sydney and about the show, the role that she's playing, which we'll get into, and then also feel free, since this is live, if you have any questions that you want to learn a little bit more about Sydney, or you have a couple different questions maybe about the show, please feel free to throw that in there, and we'll try to answer them as best as we possibly can. So very very excited to get started. So Sydney, I'm gonna just flat out ask, the standard question in every interview. Tell me a little bit about yourself. What kind of things should we know about you as a person, as an artist? Yeah, would love to know.
I think that it's a very important fact that I have never played the villain, so I'm excited about that for She Kills Monsters. Um, I've always played the kind of comedic best friend of whoever the main character is, or kind of just that random woman in the background that yells a lot. Um, but this will be really exciting. I'm really excited about this whole show just because like I get to play on kind of like the manipulation of the character that Evil Gabby, and I don't know, it's a totally different mindset to be working with, and I'm really excited about it.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I love that you get to stretch your creative muscles and challenge yourself a little bit with a role like that. So what other productions have you done? Are there any that stick out to you that are like, oh my gosh, this is like my favorite show that I've done, or I've had like a really fun experience doing this?
Um, one of them was we did Legally Blonde at my high school my senior year, and I was Paulette, and I even had the boots, and I was so excited. That was probably my favorite role of all time because I got to basically be myself, but with a Boston accent.
I love that. Yeah, Legally Blonde is so much fun. So kudos to you for getting to do that. For everyone watching, we will be doing Legally Blonde soon, so do not worry. It is on the horizon. We unfortunately had to postpone it due to COVID-19. It was originally scheduled to be this past April. So, but that is cool that we have a connection with Legally Blonde. I love that.
Yeah.
So, have you always done theater? Is that something that you grew up doing, or how do you get in? How do you get into it?
Funny enough, my parents didn't know what to do with me, so they sent me to theater camp because I was just too much of a drama queen for them. And I actually ended up doing a summer camp at Elm Street whenever it was Town Center for the Arts.
What? Oh my god!
Yeah. So that was wee little me. And then I got into high school and I just didn't know what to do with myself. And then so I think it was my freshman year of high school. At the very end of it, we did Beauty and the Beast, and I played multiple characters. I went from being a barmaid to a whisk in Be Our Guest, and I think I was a mom of someone. I think,
Someone's mom somewhere
yeah.
in the magical world.
But that's kind of like where it. But Elm Street, former Elm Street, I guess, is where it kind of all started. So
Very nice. I love the whole like full circle vibe that we've got going on. That's something new that I learned. So very cool. Have you typically done more musicals versus plays? Because I know the two that you'd mentioned, were Legally Blonde and Beauty and the Beast, and She Kills Monsters is not a musical. Although I think tap dancing dragons and stuff would be really cool. Zach, if you're watching this, if you want to throw that in there, I'm not gonna be mad. Um,
That
But
would be
yeah,
pretty awesome.
what's your experience like, kind of in both worlds of
Um,
theater?
well, at my high school, we would do a musical at the end of every year, but we would sprinkle in a couple of straight plays, like, and that would be, I say sprinkle in, we'd do about 4 or 5, and I would be in every single one of them in some way, shape, or form.
So yeah,
And it
you
was
were
usually,
pretty busy in high school, which is really cool. Good to know that the theater bug bit you, and you have really enjoyed it.
yeah, and it transferred over into college because my freshman year, I went to the University of West Georgia for my freshman year, then transferred to Kennesaw. But we did episodes in sexuality, which is a student, what's the word? Student
Student
devised
fun.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like from scratch. We started the first day, we're like, we don't have a script. Let's go for it. So that was a pretty fun experience and very hectic for a college freshman not knowing what the heck I was doing.
Yeah.
And then whenever I transferred over to Kennesaw, I kind of took a break from the stage for a little bit and went and dived into costume design. So
Very
that's where
nice.
I'm at right now.
So what kind of things have you done costume wise? Is there like stuff that like you love to do? Like, I can make a pattern like nobody's business, or you're like, I love just hand sewing.
I well, let me pull out my arsenal here.
You
I can
have a portfolio and be like, bam, look at these, look at all these swatches, look at everything that I've done.
it's well it kind of like started off my senior year for my senior project. I made my prom dress. And then that's where I kind of just like shimmied my way into it from there. And my boyfriend and I went to Dragon Con together for the first time and we made our costumes. Or I say we, it was me. I made it.
Don't give him credit for that. Don't.
He designed them, but I made them. So he tried to help and he did very well.
He gave you the inspiration, but then you were like, all right, I'm the tactical one. Like, I'm the one who has to make it.
Yeah. And then I think I work at the costume shop over at KSU right now. And sadly, the show that I was a costume assistant on was Thumbelina.
Ooh.
We have to postpone that until January.
Yep.
Tears. But that was my most recent project we had to make. We went to find fabrics and shop for fabrics, and it's just with this whole COVID thing, you're not supposed to like touch stuff, but then with fabrics, you're like, does it feel right?
Yeah, you're like, I have to touch it, but like, how much can I? Like, do I put gloves on? And but
Yeah.
yeah, does that like ruin the experience of like actually being able to like know what it feels like?
Mm-hmm. So that's my costuming part. I can make a pattern. I can go from a pattern, a company made pattern. I can also embroider. That's a thing.
And you know what? Being in Georgia, there's a lot of opportunities to just throw some embroidery over anything. Do you have
Mm-hmm.
anything like that you've made yourself that says like Sydney on it at all?
Um, I do. It's all the way in my room, but I made there was a shirt that has like an anatomically correct heart on it. And I don't know, that one's a really cool one. I really appreciate that one. I
Very
get a lot of.
nice. Love it. So let's delve a little bit more into She Kills Monsters, which is your current project, our current project. And so you play a very mean cheerleader who is literally named Evil.
Mm-hmm. In the script, Evil Gabbi line.
So tell me about Evil Gabbi and kind of the role that she plays in the show and in the story.
She is the main character, Tilly Evans, or Tilius the Paladin. She is her insecurities. Like, because we make fun of her, we make fun of her her sexuality and who she loves, and we just pick on her and we're just really mean to her. Me and evil Tina, who's like, we come as like a package of insecurities. Um, we kind of just throw her around, and in the game at least, but then in real life, we're supposed to be like just these sweet, innocent human beings that have done nothing wrong, kind of thing.
Yeah, but in reality, they're doing a lot of stuff beneath the surface.
Oh yeah.
And I think this show is really cool and unique in the way that it presents, the real world, but also the fantasy world, and kind of like these dualities. So a lot of characters are normally playing, essentially two different versions of yourself. Like if you think, Wizard of Oz, you have the characters in Kansas who then transform into, some sort of counterpart when they're in Oz. So I think that is one of the things that I really enjoy about the script, is just kind of seeing how, we go from the real world and how that is so similar to stuff that's happening in the world of the game, that for for Tilly is an escape from the real world.
It's kind of interesting. I always wondered why she put these evil cheerleaders slash succubus in this game of hers. Like, I think it's more for the show, so then you can see she was just a regular girl that was suffering from all sorts of things from the outside world, and it was a way for her sister Agnes to get to know her, even though she has passed.
Yeah. With the show itself, what are some things that really resonate with you, and why, kind of what drew you to the show, and kind of what things do you take from it?
I appreciate like the grief of the show and how it's processed, because Agnes, the very main character, she is experiencing all of this, and she's kind of acting like how we all would at our first D&D session, not really knowing what the heck is going on. But then as she gets into it, she really likes it, and she's getting to know her sister, and she's grieving, and then crap hits the fan, and then she kind of has a meltdown, and she's processing it, and everyone's there for her, even like the characters in the game. And like her boyfriend is also there for her, and like, I don't know, the way that she processes the whole her sister passing is, I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, grief plays such a huge role in this show, and how the different ways that we're able to respond to it. And I think this show does a really good job of portraying that, on a very realistic level. Like they don't try to sugarcoat anything
Yeah.
about it. They're like, they present it as very real. And I think that that's something, we all experience some form of grief, or we have experienced some form of grief in our lifetimes. And so I think that's a really great way for us as an audience to be able to connect to not only the characters, but also to the show as a whole. Even if you don't have a lot of experience in, with Dungeons and Dragons, you don't have to necessarily know pretty much anything to really get the point of the show.
And I love how they do it, like you kind of forget that Tilly's not there, and like you have to like be brought back to reality, and you're like, oh, I completely forgot she's actually not here, kind of thing. And then we laugh about it, we cry, and then we laugh again. It's great.
It gives us a full round of emotions. So aside from, connecting us with, ideas of grief, what are some other things that we as an audience can expect from the show? Like, what are some things that you're excited to get to share with people?
Well, I know for one, I'm really excited about the combat.
Yes,
because it's looking pretty cool.
Isn't it?
Because I get a flail with pom poms, and I'm super excited.
Now,
um,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
nope, go for it.
Oh, I was just going to ask if you have, do you have a lot of experience with stage combat at all?
I have very little, but somehow Zach made me look really cool. I don't know how he did it, but he did it.
I mean, he's just a magician, and just so I mean, I guess wizard, or even like elf would be more appropriate for this world. But yes, no, I have been seeing some of like the prop weapons that have been coming in, so I know that there's going to be a lot of really cool fight sequences in there. So, and I'll let you continue with some other things as well, because I'm interested to hear what you're excited about.
um, well, uh, there's just so much. I just love this show. It's so great, and I'm such a nerd, and I'm here for it, all of it. Um, I'm also really excited just to kind of see the reaction, I guess, of and like, I don't know. There's not really a talk back. I know that for a fact. Like, I don't know, to go into the lobby and hear all these people be like, "Oh my gosh, that was such a good show. I loved this part. This part was so cool. Remember whenever she did that? That was really awesome." And be like, "Oh yeah, remember whenever we cried during that part? It was really sad. But then we laughed about it again and it was really great." I'm excited for the whole experience, to be
Oh,
perfectly honest.
yay! I love that. And so you said that you're a big nerd, and you know this show is literally in the world of Dungeons and Dragons. So prior to being a part of this show, how much D&D experience have you had? Like, have you played the game before, or you're just like, I kind of know things? Like, where do you fall?
Um, I kind of know things, and I've played before. My first character was an Asimar fighter named Phil Kane. She was a dual wielder until I accidentally threw my second sword into a lake trying to fight a
Oops.
fury, I think. Um, but I have a lot of experience with it, and I also build terrain for the game and sell it. Um, and plus, my boyfriend is a DM and a very good one at that. So I usually just pull him out, and I'm like, "What does this mean?" And he's like, and I just put him back.
Love it. And I'm sure other people would love to know. I love a good fun fact. I love several fun facts. So I would love to know. Um, Number one, favorite ice cream flavor. I can talk. Favorite ice cream flavor.
Mint chocolate chip.
Me too. Oh my
No
god,
way!
twins, love it.
Yes. Everyone's like, it tastes like toothpaste. I'm like, no, it does not.
It tastes so
What
good,
toothpaste are you eating? You're like, what?
right?
That's gross.
Whew.
We have
Okay,
found another.
check that one off. Great. Next question
Thank
would
goodness I
be
got that one right.
so if you were stranded on a desert island and you
Mm-hmm.
only had three things, what three things would you have?
Probably an axe to cut down trees.
Smart.
Rope for many obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And a book on how to build a raft.
Love it. So you're able to do everything. You build yourself a raft and you go hopefully try to escape and get back to civilization of some
Hopefully.
kind. And then
Hopefully I just magically find a box of matches in my pocket or something.
yeah,
Maybe light a couple trees on fire as signal.
let everyone know, hey, I'm here. Come
Hello.
All right, and then I think the last question that I have that is also fun fact if you're inclined to share. do you have an embarrassing stage moment
Hmm. Hmm.
where like something like went horribly wrong, or you know, we love those YouTube videos of like the theater fails of just like, you know, everybody and their mother falling.
Yeah. Actually, in the show Be Our Guest, as I was playing the whisk and a freshman in high school, so a lot of angst over there. Um, I think there was a time where I was in the very, very front and forgot the dance choreography, and it was like opening night. And I kind of just stood there in my whisk form and just went, as everyone else could see, I was dead center in the very front and everyone could see me. And I was like, this is how this is supposed to go.
Right, I am the
What are
whisk
we
front
supposed to
and
be
center.
doing? And then I ran off stage because I was like, I can't. So that was
love
my
love
one
that.
that I can remember.
And I just love the idea of a whisk costume. I find that hysterical.
I literally just look like an octopus. That's They were like, here's the whisk. I'm like, this isn't an octopus costume. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So was it like a hat, like a big chef's hat that they kind of decked out,
It was
or
like a black and then with like a silver puffy top. And then I just had to wear just complete black. And they confined my hands.
oh no.
So I had like I literally was just like this with some silver tops. I don't understand what that part was for. And then it was like a skirt of like, I don't know what it would be, like a tube, I guess,
Yeah.
full of like foam or something. And it would hit me all the time. So it was hard to dance in. And it was too small because it was made for a child. So that was an overall great experience.
I mean, Beauty and the Beast is always great. Like the costumes, like they're like either really great or like they're really awful. There's never like an in between. Like it's either
No.
one or the other. But they're
Well,
always awkward.
oh yeah, one of my friends was a dustpan, so it just didn't look right because it was a modern day dustpan. So
I love it.
uh,
It was like a fluorescent color too.
it was bad. I think our Gaston got bored and actually put the dustpan outfit on during Be Our Guest, and we're like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "I know the dance." I'm like, "Okay, you're not supposed to be here."
Oh my gosh, love it so much. Well, Sydney, is there anything else that you want to add before we hop off to encourage people to check out She Kills Monsters? That's going to be here in like a month.
Please come and see our show. It's so exciting. I get to rip off arms, and I'm excited.
You heard it here, folks. So if you want to see some arms just going here, there,
Flailing.
and everywhere, you've got to check out She Kills Monsters, which is going to be opening at Elm Street next month. And we are so pumped to get to share this story with you all. And so till next time, I want to say thanks again to Sydney for not only being part of the show, but also taking part in this interview so that way you could know a little bit about her more and the part that she plays in the show. And we are looking forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah, I can't wait to see everyone there.
Yes. So everyone, please stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane, because that's also important. But until next time, we will see you later. All right.